Every couple of months, I see on Twitter or TikTok or Facebook a repetition of the same basic idea that the 2018 sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, entitled Ralph Breaks the Internet Wreck-It Ralph 2, should have been titled Ralph Wrecks the Internet. And as someone who is obsessed with movie titles, I'm here to tell you that Ralph Wrecks the Internet is an even worse title. So, first of all, it's a bad title whichever way you slice it. The only reason we're talking about whether or not it should be Ralph Breaks the Internet or Ralph Wrecks the Internet is because we're saddled with it being called that in the first place, despite the fact that it should probably just be called Wreck-It Ralph 2, right? They're already losing brand recognition by not headlining it with Wreck-It Ralph, and breaking the internet is like such a 2012 term, like no one really talks about breaking the internet anymore. But I also think if you called it Ralph Wrecks the Internet, you are losing the cultural touchstone that is the term breaking the internet by removing the word breaking. You don't hear people say, this is going to wreck the internet. If someone says this is going to wreck the internet, they're probably talking about Facebook. Something that did wreck the internet. Not that the internet was a utopia before all of this anyway. If you're dead set on keeping the idea of breaking the internet in the title, then the movie should be called Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. Or if you're really desperate, Wreck-It Ralph Wrecks the Internet, but again, I don't think that would work. Now, all of this is a moot point. None of this matters because the movie should have been called Wreck-It Ralph Online. And not only should it have been called this, it should have also been the third Wreck-It Ralph movie and not the second Wreck-It Ralph movie. The second Wreck-It Ralph movie should have focused on Ralph transitioning from arcade gaming to console gaming. Maybe there's a Wreck-It Ralph PlayStation game, the same way that Mario went from arcade games and Donkey Kong to Nintendo 64 and all the consoles. So maybe there's a Wreck-It Ralph console game, maybe he meets a console version of himself. And then you do Wreck-It Ralph Online, where he goes to the internet. So you go from arcade gaming in the first film to console gaming in the second film to online gaming in the third film, as well as the internet at large. And the second film should have been called Super Wreck-It Ralph. So you've got Wreck-It Ralph, Super Wreck-It Ralph, Wreck-It Ralph Online. All titles which evoke video game sequel tropes and terminology and signifiers. What's crazy about this as well is that the first film came out in like 2012 and the second in 2018, and so there's absolutely enough room in there for where there could have been a second, like an extra film before Ralph Breaks the Internet. It could have been 2012, 2015, 2018. That's all I really have to say. This is a bit more of a rant than a video essay, but yeah, I just think that would have been great. And for the record, I actually really like both films, but I really wish they weren't called what they were called, because I hate those titles so much. And also I want more Wreck-It Ralph in my life.